A black woman in her weight is kind of a touchy subject, right? Like, don't nobody want to touch it because we don't want them type of problems. We already know what the reaction is going to be, and they can get real defensive. As you can see, I'm clearly a black woman. I get it.
Greetings everyone, welcome to my Blunt channel. So for today's video, we are going to be taking a look into a viral discussion that's going on Black TikTok right now. And the discussion is about how Black women need to get their weight together. It's that clear and that simple.
Most women are out of shape in every function you go to. It's just an observation. I actually include myself in this. I'm not in the best shape either. You look around the room and men be in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and a lot of them be in shape. Then you look around the room at the women, and the women be in their like 20s and 30s. You know what I'm saying? Younger women. And most, if not all, the women be out.
So, it's no secret. If you're Black, you can just take a look into your family. Okay, the average Black family, you can walk down the street in average Black communities, and you can even pull up the statistic that I'm always talking about how, yes, majority of the women in the community are statistically overweight. Well, people are finally deciding to take this discussion to TikTok. This is common sense, okay? Black women are overweight and not thick. Well, since we have so many overweight women in the community, there were a lot of hit dogs that were hollering, okay? They felt like the call was coming from inside of the house.
Younger women. And most, if not all, the women be out of shape.
Hey, hi, it's me, one of those out of shape 30-year-olds you're talking about, which apparently also includes yourself. I'm really not sure why you made this video, girl. Putting aside the fact that I think all individuals should be able to have whatever body they feel most comfortable with and adjust it accordingly throughout their lifetimes, there's actually a pretty easy answer for this. We have fucking jobs now. I can't stress to you guys enough how often the answer to your silly questions on the internet is simply women have rights, or at least had them for the last couple of decades. Even up until like the 2010s, when millennials started to enter the workforce, you still had a mostly female population who had grown up in an era where they did not have the same rights as men. They were heavily dependent on men. Therefore, looks were very important. You had to be attractive enough to find a man that could, give you some level of security for your lifetime. Pretty much every generation of women had to worry about their appearance more than their career, because no matter what you were able to achieve, you probably were never going to achieve as much as a husband would. Simply getting married to the right partner was going to get you a house way quicker than becoming a CEO. But now even married women have to be in the workforce. Now women are actually more highly educated than men. Now women are the breadwinners in a lot of situations. So we've kind of just done an Uno reverse on the men and said, hey, you remember when you guys used to have beer bellies and still expect to marry a model? That's us now. Welcome to my world. When you don't have to depend on a man to make sure that you are financially secure for your life, you let go a little bit. You eat out a little bit more. And also the fact that none of us are really enjoying the men that are on the market these days. I'm going to brunch and dinner a lot more with my girls. And you know what? They buy appetizers and dessert. So yeah, if y'all want women to get back in shape, then tell the men to start being men. These men are spending so much time in the gym and not enough time in therapy. That's why they look good, but on the inside, they're hollow and shallow and everything we don't want to deal with. Sidebar, I can look all the way back to my baby's first Christmas picture and recognize that I have been thick since I came out of my mama. So what's really good with y'all wanting women to just exist in these small, petite forms, whether or not that's your natural circumstance? At the end of the day, I do what I need to do to stay healthy and not replace my entire closet because I went up 2 more clothing sizes. That's about it. And for those of you who want to come into my comments right now talking about, well, big people don't always be healthy, this is America, literally the fattest country in the world, the country with some of the worst healthcare amongst developed nations. Health is not really a thing here. So yeah, stop being weird. Skinny Talk is such a fucking weird place, and I'm sorry that I ended up on it.
So if you have common sense, you probably thought that this video was extremely ignorant. So I'm just going to read the comment section because they kind of spoke all of our thoughts. One person said, fat is not a body type. It's a symptom. Please do better. Another person said, what are you talking about? Another person said, no, y'all lazy and greedy as F. Stop the lies. Somebody else said, shorty blame men for a lack of discipline. I'm sorry. Because I'm like, bro, the mental gymnastics is too much. Another woman said, wait, what is going on? What are you even talking about? Another person said, here we go. I have a job too. Work out, geesh, all the excuses, blah, blah, blah. And then the creator of the video responded and said, leave it to a man to miss the point. Okay. Someone else said, you gave us this incredible dissertation to say you're lazy. Another person said, people will literally make an excuse for everything. Someone else said, huh? Just go to the gym, girl. Someone said, girl, no. This has nothing to do with anyone or anything outside of yourself. If you're lazy, just say that. And then someone said, men, some of us want to be in shape for ourselves. Just say you're lazy. Hey, so I have a job too, and I still go to the gym. Go to the gym. So basically, I'm giving you just an example of all of the radical response videos that people are making on TikTok, Black women are making on TikTok, just because one woman said that, hey, Black women are relatively out of shape. So a lot of women had got angry, and I'm actually going to be playing some more videos and just breaking down the excuses that Black women are coming up with as to why they are out of shape as a collective. Okay, so let's hear the excuses that the bigger women that had a rebuttal to this discussion. Let's see what they had to say. I'm going to play their video and try to break it down. Okay, I'm going to respond to everything that they're saying. Get ready for the level of excuses and delusion. But hey, if you've been on my channel, you know that I am anti excuses. I don't care who did what to you and who. No, no, no. Your life is your life. If unless you want to be a loser at life, you have to take responsibility for how you want your life to come. On my channel, I don't care what it is. I am pro take responsibility for your own life when it comes to dating, food, whatever's going wrong. Just blame yourself. And I say this not to be the bad guy, but because I realize that this produces the best results in your life. Okay. So I'm gonna play the videos in a sec. But all of these excuses, what it reminds me of also is like the single baby mama epidemic and the women that come out and they have a billion cajillion excuses as to why they're a single baby mama, except for the fact that you had intercourse unprotected with a loser. So single baby mamas, they tend to do the same exact thing where they have every excuse in the book. Every excuse. Oh, he manipulated me. He brainwashed me. He trapped me. Oh my God. I was pressured. I was forced. He begged me. Whoop de doo. And this is just a pattern in general that I noticed about dysfunctional people. Every dysfunctional person, there's always like a system of enabling. And that's why they're dysfunctional. Either they make excuses for their self, point the fingers at everybody else, and enable their self, or they have their friends and family enabling them, or both. Or, they literally enable their self. They never take accountability for their own life. So people who don't take accountability for their own life, typically their life tends to get out of control. And so that's the same thing when it comes to the weight loss discussion. Let's just come up with any excuse, right? Besides simply eating less calories. That's it. So, okay. Anyways, let's get into these videos, child. Prepare yourself. The bigger ladies are clapping back at this discussion of people saying that Black women need to get their weight in check. And we are going to hear what the bigger ladies have to say, okay? Listen, I'm just letting you know, these videos are going to explain to you why they're big. Their weight is out of control because they're blaming everybody except their self. Okay, so let's play the video.
Tapping into the conversation about Black women's weight. And I think a lot of what we see with a Black woman's weight physically is a manifestation of the weight that Black women carry mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and it shows up in their outward physical appearance. Always putting others first, the family, the career, the husband, the children, and them focusing on their health being the last thing on their list because they're too tired or they just don't have time.
So no, Black women are not big because they're carrying the weight of the world. Can anybody please comment what are Black women carrying that anybody else isn't carrying? Black women always think in black and white. Every human has their own trials, tribulations, and struggles, even rich people. There's no shortcuts in anyone's life. I am getting so tired of people blaming the reason as to why they're big on everything. And I'll even take it there. Childhood trauma, all of these things. Oh, we're carrying the weight of the world. It's the stress of the world. No, 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 no. You are big because you like the way crumble cookie tastes, okay? You are big because you like the way soul food tastes. You like the way food tastes, and that's why you're big. You're big because your body is not carrying the weight of the world, it's carrying the weight of your plates. No, because I'm getting sick of this whole because I noticed too that this tends to be an excuse. Trauma, it just manifested into my weight and it manifested into me eating a lot. Honey, I've been through some things and I have been overweight. I myself have been overweight, and I was honest about why I was overweight. Have I been depressed in my life? Yes. Have I gone through some things in my life? Absolutely. But that's not why I was overweight. I was overweight because I enjoyed the taste of Chinese food. I was overweight because I loved Mexican food when I lived in Cali. Okay. That's why you're overweight. You're overweight because you like to eat. People make it more deeper than what it needs to be. This lady right here is making it way too deep and way too complicated. And that's another reason why I'm not doing 30 million cajillion videos on weight loss, because it's really so simple. It's really so simple now. I'm like, as of now, I'm starting to realize how simple weight loss is. Literally just eat less. Like at this point, I don't care what you eat. If you eat less, you will lose weight. That's it. That's all. Black women are big because Black women like to eat. Okay. Black women are the most rebellious in society against societal beauty standards. Black women are big because they like to eat and you can't tell them anything. Okay? They sit over here, they do videos like this and constantly enable their food addiction. That's why they're big. Other racial groups just get with the program, they adapt with the program, play the looks game or get looked over. Black women are always sitting over here fat and in a bonnet or headscarf on TikTok with a rebuttal and an enabling excuse. So this lady also does mental gymnastics by going on a rant about how Black women are too tired financially, spiritually, and emotionally. They don't have time to focus on their weight.
Tapping into the conversation about Black women's weight. And I think a lot of what we see with a Black woman's weight physically is a manifestation of the weight that Black women carry mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and it shows up in their outward physical appearance. Always putting others first, the family, the career, the husband, the children, and them focusing on their health being the last thing on their list because they're too tired or they just don't have time.
Okay, so you don't have time to focus on your weight in a healthy way, but you sure do have time. Y'all be having time to eat. Eating, sitting down, and eating, that takes time. Okay, and in order to get fat, you have to spend a lot of time eating. So you do have time. You made time to get fat. So now make time to get skinny. Actually, if you eat less, which is how you get slimmer, that'll actually free up more of your time. Like even for me, since I don't eat that much, because I'm like, staying in shape, I have all the time in the world because I'm not constantly thinking about what I want to eat. I could fill my head with other important stuff that I need to get to. Actually, being greedy takes up a lot of mental time, mental and physical time. So, saying that you don't have time to get in shape, which 80% of getting shape would be eating less, that doesn't make any sense because that actually frees up a lot of your time if you just spend less time putting the fork in your mouth. So, this is a very, very, very poor excuse that many, many Black women or people, period, say. And it literally makes no sense when you actually sit and break down the excuse and think about it. So the second to last thing that this lady said was she said her account is a Black woman's Stan account.
This is a Black woman stand account. So
Um and see, that's the problem right there with a lot of pro Black women spaces it does nothing but just enable their dysfunctional and bad behavior. That's what I noticed. Like, it sounds good on paper, but then when you actually take a look into these spaces, it's spaces that are completely just enabling dysfunction. Okay, so next I'm going to be playing this extremely ignorant video from this big woman. So let's hear what a big woman that looks raggedy in a bonnet has to say. Let's hear what she has to tell us, okay? Remember what I said, don't take advice from people you would not want to trade places with. So let's hear her point of view.
And let me just put this here because I don't want to hear nobody in my fucking comments. I especially don't want to hear shit from that dumbass nigga. But I think a lot of people mistake actually having fucking reasons as to why obesity is such a big problem in America with defending obesity. No one's fucking defending it. But when you have an entire society against you, it's kind of hard to stay in shape. Like, we complain about it when it's racism and X, Y, and Z, but when it comes to health, it's just like, it's out the fucking window. No, white supremacy affects our health as well. But what I said in my previous videos and what a lot of people are saying is absolute facts as to why obesity runs rampant in our community. It's just that. So instead of coming up here blabbering about you sick of seeing fucking big ass fucking people, because I'm pretty sure you got a big ass fucking family member somewhere, right, in your family tree somewhere. What can you do to help our community? Can you provide transportation to and from grocery stores? Can you start a business that can help? Instead of just coming up here complaining, just saying dumbass shit. Can you try to go vote in your state or in your city to make sure that, you know, people in poverty-stricken areas have public transportation? Because a lot of these areas do not have that. What the fuck are you doing as a black man? Instead of complaining like a little bitch, what are you doing? Right. Nothing.
Okay, so this woman in a bonnet just said that black women are big because society is out to get them, which I actually seen a therapist actually say that this way of thinking that's actually the textbook definition of a victim complex. Constantly thinking that the world is out to get you is not normal, at least in 2025.
But when you have an entire society against you, it's kind of hard to stay in shape. Like,
this is literally the way victims think, okay? I've seen a psychiatrist say that. Like, nobody, at least in America, is out to get one person, okay? Times are different. There's more opportunities than ever now. So, like the typical ignorant person in the community, she pulls out the most ignorant line. She says that black women are big because of white supremacy. What does that even mean?
No, white supremacy affects our health as well.
Like, I'm not even gonna try to unpack this level of ignorance. No, you're big because, once again, you love food. You love crumble cookies. You love Oreos. You overeat. Okay? You're big because you eat too much. What does the white man have to do with how much food you are putting in your mouth? I'm going to ask this again. What does the white man have to do with how much food you are picking up when you're eating at the dinner table or when you're sneak eating, right? Because a lot of you guys be sneak eating all that food. So when you're sneak eating in your room by yourself at 2 a.m, how is the white man affecting you? The white boogeyman.
No, white supremacy affects our health as well.
No, I'm going to break down this nonsense. Is the white boogeyman, is he in your room? Is he haunting you? Is he telling you to pick up that fork and put it in your mouth 300 times at 2 a.m. at night and keep on eating for 2 hours straight? Is he in your room telling you to do that at 2 a.m. when you're sneak eating? No, he's not. So stop blaming everybody else. You are big because of yourself. Weight loss, nowadays, it has absolutely nothing to do with white people. And okay, we're going to go into her next talking point. Her next ignorant talking point. This is another stereotypical textbook excuse. Oh, we don't have access to grocery stores.
What can you do to help our community? Can you provide transportation to and from grocery stores? Can you start a business that can help? Instead of just coming up here complaining, just saying dumbass shit.
Okay, first of all, I don't know why she's so angry at someone wanting to address the fact that black women are the most overweight group in the country and simply telling them to eat less. But when you look at her, you know that it's because the call is coming from inside of the house and hit dogs are hollering. And also, she says that it's dumb to tell people to eat less in order to lose weight.
Instead of just coming up here complaining, just saying dumbass shit.
So she says in this video, are you guys going to provide black women with transportation to grocery stores?
What can you do to help our community? Can you provide transportation to and from grocery stores?
So let me get this straight. Okay, so we're going to stick on that one for a while. What do you mean by this, right? So they stay using this excuse of there's no healthy food available, which there is. There is. She actually made a response video, and this was something that I learned in a stupid sociology class that I took in college. That was the dumbest class I ever took. Okay, and that's where all of this radical behavior that you see on social media, that's getting taught in those sociology college classes. Okay, that class was so stupid. Just because it's getting taught in college does not mean that it's law or truth. When people talk about dumb college kids, college students, I think that they're mainly referring to the sociology department. That literally makes society dumb. And I'm going to explain why in a second, because that's when I took that class, they were really trying to tell us that black women had no access to grocery stores to eat healthy. Like, what are you talking about? If you literally just live your life, this can be debunked. But yet, that's what the textbooks were saying. I learned more in art class, more valuable stuff in art class than I did in sociology. Like, even as I was taking the class, with a little bit of critical thinking, you can just debunk everything that they're saying. So, that class, it sets people up to be habitual complainers and victims, okay? Everything that is stupid, all of the stupidity, the radical nonsense that flies out of people's mouth, I need you guys to understand that it directly comes from sociology courses. But, anyways, getting back to what she's saying about how black women do not have access to grocery stores. Oh my goodness. Yes, this is what I learned in the stupid sociology class that I took. And by the way, because I'm embarrassed, I had to take that class. They forced me to. Anyways, getting back to this lady saying that black women don't have proper transportation to grocery stores in the black community.
What can you do to help our community? Can you provide transportation to and from grocery stores? Can you start a business that can help?
Beyond that excuse, this still has nothing to do with how big you are. In fact, if you guys didn't have access to grocery stores, then wouldn't that make you guys become skinny and result? Hey, I'm just saying. But, anyways, I guess they were saying their logic is we have no access to healthy grocery stores, which is a complete lie. There's healthy food in all stores. But, anyways, I'll meet her at her logic, right? You can lose weight and eat complete junk food, because what makes you lose weight, it's not what you eat, it's how much of it that you're eating. So, no, you guys definitely have access to a grocery store. Girl, you have too much access. Way too much access to the grocery store. They need to ban you. Y'all black women definitely have access to a grocery store. Okay? Y'all have unlimited access by the way you look. It looks like you have unlimited access. So their excuse is, oh, well, there's no healthy food available. First of all, that's wrong. Yes, there is. Every grocery store has a section of healthy food. But, anyways, back to my point of what I'm saying is, even if that was true, you still don't have to be big. Being big is not what you eat, it's really how much you eat. So even if you had no access to a healthy grocery store, okay, then when you eat junk food, just eat less of the junk food and drink water. Since you don't have any access to any healthy food, okay, I guess we're living in like a third world country out here. And there's like a food desert, right? Okay, then just eat. Why can't you just eat less of the unhealthy food and drink water? And see, I also called out this thinking with obese people. They think that being slim means eating lettuce and apples. No, healthy food is everything that you guys are still eating. Okay, so you guys are still eating healthy food. You're just eating too much. So, what I mean is, meat, protein is healthy food. So, you know, when you make chicken and you fry it, well, try not frying it and then boom, that's healthy food. A piece of chicken is healthy food. Believe it or not, certain types of carbs that big people like to eat. Whole wheat carbs is relatively healthy for you. Brown rice is relatively healthy for you. It's just a simple swap. These things are available at every grocery store. So sometimes ignorant people, they think healthy just means eating lettuce and carrots. No, no, no. Healthy means healthy carbs, healthy fats, healthy protein. Whole food, for the most part, is healthy. All of you guys that eat, including obese people, you actually have access to healthy food. Whole food is healthy. It's just that the way y'all be preparing the whole food makes it unhealthy. Okay? It's the way you prepare it as well. Everyone has access to healthy food. That's how I know that they think that healthy food, when they say this, is just lettuce. No, it's everything that you're already eating. You're just preparing it in a gluttonous way and eating a gluttonous amount of the food as well. And that's why you're fat. I can tell by the way women like this talk, they think healthy means apples and lettuce. No, there's healthy food at every single grocery store. There's a meat section at every grocery store. There's a carb section, a healthy carb section at every single grocery store. Okay? And that's BS too. There's relatively a fresh food section at every grocery store. Okay? Even in the hood. Yes, there is. You can get fruits, vegetables. You have access to everything. Like, guys, wake up. We are not enslaved anymore. We are not oppressed anymore. You guys say the word woke, but you're using it in wrong context. You need to wake up and realize that you're not oppressed anymore.
No, white supremacy affects our health as well.
Okay, you have freedom. You have all the freedom in the world. The white boogeyman is not worried about you anymore, at least. So, one person in the comment section had a rebuttal to her blaming black women being big on basically like the white man and stuff like that. You know, that typical excuse. They said, excuses. Change your habits. Black women who were your age between the 1920s and 2000s were slim. They said, this is a new phenomenon. And the thing is, that's true. Black women being big is a recent epidemic. Okay? Black women back then were relatively slim. They've always been relatively slim along with the rest of society. So in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, and even before then, even when times were segregated and they actually were oppressed, they still were slim. Because being slim really has nothing to do with all of these excuses that you guys are coming up with. It has everything to do with how many times you are putting the fork in your mouth. So unless the white man is chaining you up and force feeding you, he really has no effect currently on how big you are. That is all up to you. So she says, are you guys going to provide us with transportation to a grocery store? What do you mean? If you eat less, you'll have more money, right? You'll have more money to provide yourself with transportation to the grocery store. Just eat less. Eating less saves you so much money. The whole black women don't have access to proper transportation to grocery stores, but you have access for proper transportation for everything else that's silly that you prioritize in your life, like going to the beauty supply to buy fake hair. You have proper transportation for that. So a lot of them have sneaky links all over the place, and they know how to get transportation to those sneaky links, but not a grocery store. You have proper transportation for everything. This is why they say fat people, it's another form of like an addiction, because it's almost like a crackhead coming up with excuses, right? Crackheads have excuses. They never have money for anything, but one thing that they do have money for is what they prioritize, which is their supply. Okay? So black women, when it comes to having money and, access and all this stuff to expensive lace front wigs, super long nails that cost a whole ton of money, fake long eyelash extensions, they make a way for that. They can make a way to their nail appointment. They know how to get transportation to that long nail appointment, the super long eyelash appointment. But all of a sudden, when it comes to someone starting a conversation about black women being slim, we don't have proper transportation to the grocery store. Really? Just like with what one guy said, you guys have proper transportation and money for Beyonce concert tickets. You have proper transportation when it comes to the club. If some of y'all can actually even get in, judging by how your weight is, that's just an excuse. And you prioritize the things that you want to prioritize. So this whole bigger black women don't have proper transportation to grocery stores, it's such a pathetic excuse. Y'all have proper transportation for everything else. For sneaky links at 2 a.m., you have proper transportation. I like to social drink, right? And when I was overweight, I found myself kind of almost. I had to catch myself with excuses like that. And I had thought about it. When I was overweight, it was when I was a little bit younger and, in the partying stage. So I would go out a lot and drink. I really didn't want to buy, the proper foods in order for me to lose weight. But I had to think about it like this. You don't mind going out and buying drinks. If you got time and money for the bars and the clubs, then you have time and money for the gym. And time and money to put aside to eat healthy. Okay, you make time for what you want to make time for. You prioritize what you want to prioritize. If you really want something, no excuses will get in the way of that. When I was losing weight, I was in nursing school. If you know anything about nursing school, it's brutal and it's hectic. Okay, but I still made time. I had no time. If a nursing student says they have no time, believe them, they don't. But even then, I made time for my health and fitness. Okay, so all of that extra stuff is excuses. I've actually lived the life. You're making excuses. And it's extremely ignorant, but it explains why she looks like this. It explains why she's extremely huge. Didn't I say with every dysfunctional person, it's nonstop pointing the fingers and enabling? So even when you look at people's dating lives, people with dysfunctional dating lives, they never take responsibility. Everything is always everybody else's fault. Stay away from people that are always pointing the fingers at the bad things that's going on in their life at everybody else. Okay? That's typically a person that tends to manifest dysfunction in her life. She takes no ownership over her life. People who blame everybody else, you're basically taking no ownership over your life. That's why their life is dysfunctional, because it's always everybody else's fault. Taking ownership and blaming yourself and being responsible is actually taking your power back over your life. That's how you get structure and order back into your life. That's how you are now able to control your own life. That's why the women that have the worst, all these divorces all over the place and all this stuff, and they hate men. Well, look, they're constantly pointing the fingers. It's always everybody else's fault and not theirs. That's why their dating life is horrible. The same thing goes for bigger women. Bigger women are big because it's always everybody else's fault and not theirs. The same thing goes for single baby mamas. Single baby mamas are single baby mamas because, he manipulated me, he switched up, he brainwashed me, he pressured me, he trapped me. They have 30 million. Nobody has more excuses than a single baby mama, okay, as to why they're a single baby mama. Other than you're a single baby mom because you chose a loser dude to procreate with through unprotected sex. Okay, period, point blank. This is why I'm pro blame yourself on my channel in every category. Okay, I don't pick and choose like other people. Okay, whatever area you're not blaming yourself in is the area you will get dysfunction in. I'm going to repeat that again. Whatever area that you are not taking responsibility in is the area that you will have dysfunction in. So if you're not taking responsibility over your dating life and blaming everybody else, you will have dysfunction in your dating life. If you're not taking responsibility for your weight, you will have dysfunction with your weight. If you're not taking responsibility for your cat between your legs, you will have dysfunction coming out from that cat between your legs. Okay? So that's fine. Keep blaming everything else, and no results are going to change in your life. Your life will still remain sad, unfulfilled, and dysfunctional.
Hey, never mind. Stay fat. Y'all have turned this into some like you always do, some deep fake pseudo intellectual debate about humbling black women, and they don't really care about us. They just want another reason to talk about us. And I didn't start the conversation. It was a black lady who started, I think, started the conversation. So just stay fat, stay out of hand, whatever y'all calling it these days. I thought that this was going to turn into some, okay, so what are some ways? I like to help people with fitness. I've been doing this fitness shit for the longest. You know what I'm saying? I look good. I look the fuck good. You feel me? So really, I'm just worried about myself now. I thought it was going to be some move forward, what can we do to get in shape, and blah blah blah, what are the best methods to start and all. I love videos like that. I've gone viral talking about that plenty of times, but that's not what this turned into. This turned into a kerfuffle of victimhood, and oh my god, I can't believe that you can notice all this extra weight on me. People arguing back and forth. I don't even know what the fuck y'all talking about no more. Y'all ruining the piece of the fitness space, and I just want y'all to get the fuck on somewhere. And I'm not just talking about black women, I'm talking even the guys. The black dudes with the belly wellies, you niggas. I've seen a few of the comments. No, we like them thick. Oh, brother, get the fuck. Go back to that corner of the earth y'all were in. Ew, nigga. You like fat girls because you're a fat boy. And you know it'd be weird if you... I'm not even gonna go there. Yeah. Our fault. Good night.